Alright, fellow hunters, time for the final episode of Read the Day, which is Jus In Bello. On the trail of Bella to retrieve the stolen colt, Sam and Dean track her to Monument, Colorado, only to find her motel room empty. Answering the phone, Dean finds Bella on the other end of the line, of the line, already 2 states away, and indicating that she has set them up. Moments later, local police storm into the room accompanied by Special Agent Victor Henriksen. Sam and Dean are taken to custody to the local sheriff's office. Henriksen makes sure that the barely staffed small office is equipped as effectively possible for the Winchesters, keen to not allow them to escape again. He phones FBI Deputy Director Stephen Groves, who insists on sending a chopper to expedite them. Sam and Dean are placed in a small holding cell, and Henriksen comes to speak with them, bantering with Dean before telling them that they will be taken to a maximum security prison in Nevada and kept there until trial. And this is probably the last time Sam and Dean will see each other ever again. Groves arrives with the chopper and insists Henriksen fill out a copious amount of paperwork. He visits Sam and Dean in the holding cell and reveals that he is in fact possessed when he shoots Dean in the shoulder. Sam finds him off and begins an exorcism, which is cut short when the demon vacates the host. Henriksen and others, alerted by the noise, rush in and discover Groves is dead on the floor, but are confused by the lack of blood. I have no choice but to believe that Sam and Dean did not shoot him, though they still do not believe the Winchester's explanation, that he was possessed. FBI agent Calvin Reedy goes outside to find out what's happened to the rest of the officers in the chopper, only to discover that they are all dead, throats slashed. The chopper explodes and Reedy is killed by another demon possessing one of the fallen officers. Panicking, the local sheriff wants to go outside and fight. Henriksen realizes they are under siege and convinces them to all stay inside to barricade the doors. All communications with the outside world are down, and soon the electricity goes off also. All that remain inside are Nancy Fitzgerald, the secretary, Sheriff Melvin Dodd, Deputy Philimishi, Henriksen, Sam, and Dean. Meanwhile, Sam attempts to patch up Dean's bullet wound. Henriksen comes to the cell and confronts them, assuming that the siege is being carried out by their allies, and unwilling to believe otherwise. Shortly after Henriksen leaves, Nancy comes to the cell. Sam manages to convince her to bring him a clean towel to dress Dean's wound. When she hands it over, Sam grabs her wrist and steals the rosary from it. Later, the sheriff unlocks the cell and comes in. He is keen to get everyone out of the station and to safety. A possessed Henriksen interrupts, though, killing the sheriff. Sam and Dean manage to get hold of the demon and exorcise Henriksen, using holy water made in the toilet with the aid of Nancy's rosary. Following the exorcism, Henriksen believes Sam and Dean and releases them so they can help fight off the demons outside. They put up salt barriers on the doors and windows, and Sam paints devil traps at key entry points. Meanwhile, Nancy patches up Dean's gunshot wound. Dean goes to retrieve more weaponry from the trunk of the Impala, being inside again just in time before a horde of demons descends upon the building. Able to get inside, the demons possess the locals, about 30 of them, standing right outside the building. Inside, Dean passes out protective charms that will prevent the others from being possessed. Sam and Dean reveal that they don't need charms as they both have matching tattoos of it, on the left side of their chests. While they wait and arm up inside, Dean and Henriksen discuss their respective lives and they find they have much in common. Ruby shows up, able to get in through a salt line, damaged unwittingly by the deputy. She tells them that the demons are from Lilith, Sam's demonic rival from the west. She tries to convince Sam that the solution to this spell she knows that will vaporize all demons within radius, including herself. However, the spell requires the sacrifice of a virgin. Nancy volunteers, but Dean is vehemently against the plan, convincing Sam instead that they need to just open the doors and fight off the horde themselves. Exasperated, Ruby leaves. Dean's plan is carried out successfully. Dean, Sam, and Henriksen fight the demons inside while Nancy and the deputy bar the doors behind them again, trapping the demons inside. But not before one demon escapes. An exorcism pre-recorded by Sam then plays over the office's PA, sending the demons back to hell. In the aftermath, Henriksen promises Sam and Dean that he'll lie about what happened and say they were killed in the initial chopper explosion in order to get the law off their backs. Pleased with the outcome, Sam and Dean leave. Not long after, Lilith arrives at the sheriff's office in the form of a young girl, looking for Sam and Dean. She destroys the building and kills everyone in it, including Nancy and Henriksen. Sam and Dean later find out about it when Ruby turns up in their motel room and tells them to turn on the television, again rebuking them for not behaving properly under the Jus In Bello, i.e. laws of war. The episode ends. Aww. So now let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Coincidentally, the plot of this episode is very similar to the 2010 film Legion, in which the Archangel Michael comes to Earth to fight off against hordes of angel-possessed people in a diner. A strange coincidence is that Adrian Palicki starred in both Supernatural and Legion. This episode marks the first time in the series that one of the brothers has performed an exorcism from memory without reading the words from a source. They attempt to do so in Sin City but cannot recall the words. When the demons were exorcised, they gathered in the ceiling of the police station and exploded, as opposed to going to hell as we've seen in other exorcisms. This effect has never been seen before or since. The scene mentioned above with Dean and Agent Henriksen is a reference to the Bob Marley song I Shot the Sheriff. This episode marks the first appearance of Lilith, although she appears briefly in the second season finale as Demon Smoke. The title of the episode refers to a legal term meaning law of war, which concerns acceptable justifications for going to war and acceptable wartime conduct. This is the only episode of Season 3 to feature all 4 main cast members. Amy Garcia's character, Nancy Fitzgerald, is a religious employee who is afraid of the devil because she believes in his existence. Ironically, after almost 9 years, Amy Garcia will again play a religious woman who will work for the police and deal with the devil in another popular fantasy series, Lucifer. Curiously, both Supernatural and Lucifer are related to Warner Brothers television studios. And now finally, let's take a look at a goof. Despite the power being out at the time, the PA system still works to broadcast the exorcism. That's very true. So overall, I really do enjoy this episode, and the stakes are just really, really high in this episode, and it's just really amazing as well, so yeah. So overall, I give Jus In Bello 5 Impalas out of 5. Anyway, tune in tomorrow as we take a look at the next episode, Ghost Facers. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.